So today at church, it was the first time in over a year that people were able to go to church without masks. So that was exciting. And it was also the first time that my daughter Margot went to nursery. So I was able to actually sit and enjoy priesthood without having to watch a 2-year-old. So that was nice. First, in sacrament meeting, we had a couple of speakers. We had Laura Lee White, who talked about miracles. She talked about how she's often wondered how people could see so many miracles and then struggle. So the example she gave was Peter, who denied Christ after seeing so many miracles. And she talked about miracles in our lives and how we often fail to recognize miracles. So she talked about miracles of healing that had occurred in the ward, people who've recovered from cancer. She's talked about just little miracles in her life, times when people remembered her, or times when little prayers were answered. And so it's a testimony that God is still a God of miracles. The miracles come as answers to prayer. Then the other person who was supposed to speak didn't show up, so Brother Holmes, who is a counselor in the bishopric, had to kind of do an extemporaneous speech, and he did a pretty good job. He spoke about President Nelson's most recent priesthood talk about COVID and about what are kind of the lessons we can learn from COVID. So he talked about how, lots of people have been impacted by COVID and have struggled with it, but that also there have been good things too. So it's helped people realize how much we need each other to support each other. It has helped make our homes a more holy place, with the church encouraging more gospel study in the home and people doing sacrament at homes. It helps make our homes a more holy place. It helped us to have time to be still and to listen and to think of ways that we and to ponder and to meditate and to think. And he encouraged us to think of ways that God has blessed us even through difficult times. And then we had the sacrament, which was good. My kids were pretty good. And after sacrament, Margot went to nursery, and she struggled a little bit being dropped off, but she seemed to be okay. And then in Elders Quorum, we talked about the covenant path. Ryan Smith gave the lesson, and there was lots of good discussion. So we talked about how covenant's a two-way promise. It's a sacred agreement. And we talked about the question, why make covenants if you're already trying to be good? If you're already trying to be a good person, what's the point of the covenant? And so one analogy that they used was that a covenant, they use the phrase covenant path. So people being good, they're trying to get to the same destination, as people on the covenant path. Usually they're trying to get to heaven, return to live with Heavenly Father. But if you are keeping your covenants, keeping covenants, there's a path, there's a way that you can do it that's prepared for you, that makes it a lot easier and makes it so that you don't struggle as much trying to keep it. They also talked about how it's a commitment. It's a way to express commitment to a formal sacred agreement that helps give you strength when you're struggling. To say, yes, I am formally doing this. And similarly, covenants are usually done in public, so you're making a symbolic, formal commitment in front of other people, and you're testifying to all these people, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to follow God, I'm going to try to do this. And so yeah, there was a good comment that said, well, the way to hell is paved with good intentions, and lots of people try to be good, but they can easily, if you don't have a covenant, if you don't have something set that you're trying to do, it becomes easy to be kind of blown about by the trends of the day, even if they aren't good trends. And they gave the story of, Ryan Smith talked about hiking King's Peak, which is like hiking lots of mountains in Utah, where there's lots of switchbacks that go back and forth like this, and that lots of times people are tempted to just go straight up the mountain, but it's a lot steeper and a lot harder than just taking the switchbacks. If you take the switchbacks, if you follow the path, you can make it, and it's a lot safer, and you're more likely to reach your destination, and it's not and it's a lot easier than trying to cut across and just cross the covenant path every once in a while, but trying to cut straight up the mountain doesn't work as well. So it was a good lesson.